You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Thank you for joining me today on this Total Wellness Tuesday, where I want to talk about one of my favorite topics. So about 7 years ago, I would say now, about 7 years ago, that's right, I started to do this thing called a functional medicine detox. And back then, it was not as formal as it is now, but what we do in functional medicine a lot of the time with someone who seems to have a little bit of everything, right? A little blood sugar, a little bit of inflammation, maybe some autoimmune issues, some hormone imbalances. They feel tired, they feel fatigued, and they're groggy. They have brain fog, their joints kind of hurt a little bit. You know, all those things that kind of come with aging. Well, one of the things we do in functional medicine is we look to basically purify the body. This has been known, obviously, in Ayurvedic medicine now for, you know, how many, as I always say, 6,000 plus years. And there's many people out there who believe that Ayurvedic medicine is probably closer to 10,000 years, but we only have recorded history of it for about 6,000 years. Well, one of the things we know is that we start to purify the body. If we start to clean the blood of the body, which feeds all of the living tissues, and it feeds your brain, that if that's cleaner, well, the body is also cleaner. It's clear. The mind's clear. And so that's one of the ways that we always have worked in functional medicine for, let's say, the past decade or so. When I started studying with the Institute for Functional Medicine right around 2010, I believe. Yeah, 2010, 2011. Yeah, 2010, that was right. So that's when I attended my first conference with them, and I started to go through their program. And one of the things that I was introduced to was a more formal version of what I was doing overseas in India and Sri Lanka. And that was an Ayurvedic, that was Ayurvedic over there, and this was functional medicine. It was essentially, as my mentor, Dr. Pete, used to say, that functional medicine is what Ayurveda would also be using today had they known about this 6,000 plus years ago. And we know that to be true, and that's because there's something called the BAMS degree over in India, which is the Ayurvedic doctor over in India. And they use a lot of this. They use all the lab testing for sure, because I studied with those doctors over there, and they're brilliant, very, very brilliant. And so what I do now is try to include both of those. But essentially, what we want to do, and the reason why I started doing this many years ago and continue today, is because I believe that if most people go through some type of functional medicine detoxification, this is different than a juice cleansers. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm actually doing that this Thursday coming up, and I think it's a great thing. But what a functional medicine detox is it's just very different. What it is nutrients, okay? It's glutamine, it's N-acetylcysteine, it's glutathione, it's sulforaphane that you get from broccoli and cruciferous vegetables. It's zinc, it's selenium, it's certain amino acids. All of these things are what your liver, which is that big organ underneath the right side of your rib cage, literally, that's what that organ, we know it needs it. That's what it needs to clean all of the blood in your body very efficiently. Every 6 minutes, all that blood filters through your liver. Believe it or not, every single ounce, every drop of blood filters through that organ. And so it's very, very important because the liver is the main filter of the body. You know, imagine if your vacuum didn't have a filter on it. Well, it would just be all the dirt and dust would be spit back up in the air and just go back up in the air, which is obviously no point. It wouldn't get caught by the filter. And if you're driving down the highway at 60 miles an hour and there's all smog and dirt outside and there's bugs and there's everything else, well, as that starts to come through your car, it gets caught by hopefully your carbon filter, your car's filter inside. So it's what it does. It basically protects our air. And the same thing with our liver, it protects our blood. But your liver needs certain nutrients, and a lot of those nutrients are the ones that I just named. So what a functional medicine detox does is it gives your body back those nutrients. That's why when people say like, oh, there's no such thing as a detox, isn't that? Well, we know that's not true. If you study the science, if you study human physiology, you know this is exactly how the liver works. And then we know this is how the kidneys work. This is how the brain works. So could we learn more? Absolutely. And of course we will. But we know for now, at least, This is what helps the liver to do its job. That's what we're essentially looking at. I'm not going to talk about phase 1, phase 2 liver detoxification today. Just, suffice to say that when your body gets the raw material that it needs, it's able to do its job a lot better. I mean, that hopefully right there for a lot of health practitioners and people listening, like that makes sense. You give your body what it needs, you're going to do a lot better because you have the right tools for the job. It's kind of like trying to chop down a tree with what? A Swiss Army knife. You could do it. It's going to take you a lot longer. But what if someone gave you a hacksaw? And then what if they gave you a chainsaw? The job is obviously going to be done a lot easier with that right tool. And then hopefully you replant the tree. But that's a story for another day. All right. So let's get into it today. The reason that we do a detox in functional medicine is literally because it doesn't really matter where you live anymore. It doesn't. Even if you're in the woods and you're breathing the freshest air, our body starts to absorb toxins every single day that passes. And it could be anything from literally if you get on an airplane and you're breathing in the recycled air, they spray pesticides on the plane to kill any bugs that you might be bringing in from other countries. It's awful, but when I travel overseas, I literally put my sweatshirt over my face and cover my eyes as the flight attendants go down the row and they spray what literally is bug spray into the aisles. They don't tell you what it is, but that is what it is, and it's a pesticide. And it kills bugs that might be brought in on your clothes or whatever it is. And we breathe that in. And then on those seats, a lot of people don't know this, but on your couch and a lot of different seats and even on your bed, there are flame retardants. And those flame retardants off gas, okay? And so you start to breathe in all of those harmful gases as well. Well, those are just two of the over 77,000 man-made chemicals just in the U.S. alone. So these things just begin to accumulate over your life. And I talk about that in my book. Actually, I'm excited because it will be out soon. Stay tuned. I'm going to announce the launch date very, very soon, hopefully within the next 4 weeks. And it talks about this. And this is not to scare you, but you need to know what you're up against. Okay, that's it. Bottom line. We accumulate these things over life. We get vaccinations. You can say they're good or bad. It doesn't really matter. That's not the conversation for today. They have aluminum in them. They have mercury in them. That's how they work. That's how they get into your system. We accumulate that. A lot of us have silver amalgams in our mouth, okay? And they're not really silver. They're aluminum, they're nickel, and they have mercury in them. There's a lot of composite to it. And so over time, those start to open up a little bit as you chew, and you get those micro vapors of aluminum into your body. Our tap water contains aluminum as well. We know that actually starts to deteriorate and break down the brain, and it can pass that blood-brain barrier, all right? In our water, there's oftentimes arsenic, and there could be lead, and just all you have to do is look at literally in the news, and you see all these contaminated places with water. It's not good. It's not ideal. When we take a shower, that literally, unless we have a shower filter on or we have a whole house filter, we're breathing in chlorine vapors, all right? We're also getting fluoride into the body. All of these things can actually deteriorate the good gut bacteria in the gut, the intestines, and the fluoride can start to wipe out your thyroid, meaning like it can start to lower your levels of thyroid. And these things, again, have all been proven scientifically true. In my new book, I have over 200 cited research studies. So for anyone who says, oh, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true, it's simply because you just haven't looked deep enough into the research. And my job is to do the research and then give it to you in an easy to take action plan. But I want people to have that research as well. So here's the thing, is that it's no longer even a choice of whether you should be doing a detox or not. It's honestly not. In Ayurvedic times, thousands of years ago, they knew this and they did them seasonally, okay? They did them in the spring, they did them in the summer, they did them in the fall, and they did in the winter. And the reason they did this is a purification of the body. They knew that the purer the body was, the healthier it would be and the longer it would live, disease-free. That was the whole point. And even back then, again, there could be contamination from many different things, but just truth be told, every time you have a meal, you're creating an oxidative process. Like that's just the way it is. We start to accumulate the metabolites of hormones and of neurotransmitters. And so a detox is simply a time of rest for the body as well to begin to rejuvenate. And that's why during a detox, a lot of people experience clearer thinking, better sleep. Their hormone levels start to become more regulated. They reduce levels of inflammation and of pain. They regulate blood sugar levels so they feel more even. Their moods begins to stabilize. And yes, all of this happens over whether you decide to do a 7, 14, or 21-day detox. That's obviously up to the person. The longer, the better. I mean, that's the truth, right? The longer, the better, the more benefits you're going to get, but you're still going to get a lot of benefits in 7 days. So when I was overseas and we would do panchakarma, which I'll talk about in my upcoming book as well, but panchakarma is basically these 5 therapies that go along with a detoxification-based diet to purify the body. And of course, we use herbs. They didn't have specific vitamins back then, but they certainly had herbs that gave us a lot of these great things, such as the parsley and the thyme and the cilantro. And those were natural chelators. And again, we use those to the day as well. And that's why in my detox, the Dr. Cabral Detox, I use a product, well, it's the Daily Nutritional Support Powder that we have every day. And then we have the IU Detox, which stands for Ayurvedic Detox. And that has some natural Ayurvedic-based properties, such as the triphala, and it has ginger, and it has turmeric, and all the great things that we use for the body. And then it also has the FM Detox product, which is functional medicine detox. And that is the best of the old, the wisdom, and the best of the state of the art. That's really what I believe my mentor passed on to me, and what I'm trying to obviously pay forward now in what I consider the best of the best, to do that. So, truly right now, why am I bringing up this topic? Because there's going to be a lot of people doing our Dr. Cabral Detox during the spring, but maybe you're working right now with a health practitioner. And that's great because, again, I want to be the person that gives you the education, and then I want you to decide what's best for you and your family and your friends and coworkers that you might decide to do a detox with. Maybe you're working with a health practitioner and let's say you're in Spain and you're working with a functional medicine practitioner. Great. So you can do whatever they offer you, but just remember that it should be a functional medicine detox. And again, just go to drcabraldetox.com. You don't have to purchase it. You can literally just look at all the ingredients, or stephencabral.com/store, whatever you want to do, so that when you're working with a health practitioner, you can say, oh, yeah, this is similar. Hopefully I'll get those same benefits, and that would be great. So why am I mentioning this? Because the spring is such an amazing time to do a detox. It's one of the number one times, if not like the number one time to do a detox is during the springtime. And ideally a 21-day, what it does is it removes a lot of the acids. During the wintertime, our body really does start to accumulate a lot of acids. And it does that normally. Like, that's actually protective. A lot of people miss that in natural health because that's not taught in medical school or naturopathic medical school. But what it means is this, is that your body accumulates acids to accumulate heat. Okay, your body wants to stay in a constrictive-based mode to keep all that heat inside your body. But when it comes to springtime, it needs to remove all of that waste, all of that heat. If not, you end up with things like allergies and headaches and migraines and asthma and all of those other things that can create an inflammatory-based response. We simply can purify the body, and that's why we know we switch from those heavier, fattier type foods, more protein maybe based, to more of a cleansing-based diet during the springtime, okay? So I'm not going to talk about really the results you get. I spoke about that. A lot of people do a detox to basically, eliminate the brain fog, to reduce the inflammation, to feel lighter, yes, to lose weight if they're choosing to lose weight, but a detox is not just for weight loss. It's honestly not. Even if you lost weight during it, if you wanted to regain it, you could. I'm going to talk about that today. But the big thing is really just getting the body balanced. I mean, that's what it's all about, is getting the body back into balance. So now the interesting thing that came up that was brought to me, actually a great suggestion for a show, and since I wasn't sure if I had ever talked about this topic before, I want to make sure that you understand that as you do these things, working with a health practitioner or just on your own, say you're doing the Dr. Cabral Detox on your own, which is what most people do. And the reason they do that is because you really get a lot of the benefits without even having to work with a practitioner. And that's because it works at such a deep level, we start to really work on the underlying root cause-based issues. What I want to talk about today, though, is not sliding back after you do the detox, okay? I'm not saying that you need to be perfect, but in the 7, 14, or if you commit to the full 21 days, here's the thing. You're going to get remarkable results. We guarantee that. I don't know if we're the only ones, but we're at least one of the only ones to guarantee those results. That's how strongly I feel about this. That's why I really believe that you're going to get the majority of the benefits that you would just being on like an overall program, whatever it might be, as doing that 21 days. That 21 days, I honestly believe it's life-changing. I've done it myself. Of course, I've done my own detox now and many other detoxes. It's going to be over 20 times now. And so it's one of those things where the first couple days are challenging, right? Days 1, days 2, maybe even day 3 is challenging. And it's supposed to be challenging. You are literally detoxing your body. But then when you come out the other side, day 5, 6, and 7, then if you go all the way through the day 21, I mean, it's night and day. You actually experience coming through the other side. That's the amazing thing. You feel so great, so you don't want to slide too far back. So here's what we recommend. And it was a great title that a family member of mine gave me. It says, how not to re-tox after a detox. Like, how do you not just go back and toxify your body? Well, here's the thing. You can't escape everything, right? If you go to a restaurant, there's ice cubes in your water. Well, those ice cubes are made from tap water, most likely, okay? And you're out and you're not getting organic-based produce. Okay, so you're eating some of those pesticides, that bug spray. So here's the thing. We can't escape it all, and I'm not expecting you to. That's also why we do quarterly detox, is keep getting this stuff out of our system. But here's what you can do. After you come off the detox, and I'll just explain quickly what the detox is essentially each day you're doing a shake, which is an all-in-one shake for breakfast. It's our daily nutritional support. Then you're doing a vegan-based lunch, which is great for people to experience that. And then you're doing another shake mid-afternoon, and then you're doing a paleo-style dinner, okay, which is your veggies, your good fats, your protein. And then for those people not looking to lose weight, they can actually do a root vegetable like a sweet potato, that type of thing. So it's an amazing meal plan where you're literally eating every 3.5 hours, so you're not hungry. But here's the thing. What it is it's all based on anti-inflammatory based foods, re-regulating blood sugar, all of those things, okay? You don't have to know how it works in order to get the results. That's great. So what do we do afterwards, after you come off? Well, here's the thing. I'd love to get some of those really antioxidant rich based berries back into your diet, okay? Those are cancer fighting. Those are disease fighting. So what I love people to do is now for breakfast, make a smoothie. Put in your favorite fruits. I don't even care what they are, to be honest. Put your favorite fruits in there so that you look forward to the smoothie so that it's so delicious. You can download, why don't I put in my notes today to download the smoothie guide? It's completely free. So I'm just going to put in here, smoothie guide. And you'll see the Purple Crush. The Purple Crush smoothie is the same smoothie I do like 6 out of 7 mornings. It really is. And here's why. If you go back 2 shows of mine for Mindset and Motivation Monday, it's episode 745. Please listen to that show, StephenCabral.com/745. And the reason why I recommend that is that I don't want to have to think about the majority of the decisions during my day. I really don't. Go back to that show to see how I literally wear almost the same thing every single day. I make the same smoothie every day. I basically eat at one of 2 different choices for lunch. I do the things that allow me then to use my bandwidth, my other brain power for more important decisions in life. Well, the smoothie is simple, and it obviously, not obviously, but it revolutionized my life. Meaning like when I did that, things changed. And it's also because of what I didn't do. I didn't eat the pastries, the muffins, and all the extra stuff, right? The cereal. And I try to convince myself that I was eating a healthy cereal in the morning and all of those things. Well, when I did that, and this has now been a decade ago, probably somewhere around a decade ago, is that I stopped eating the eggs and the turkey sausage and those types of things. And when I did this and I super hydrated my body, I put in these wild blueberries, I put in a little handful of spinach, I put in the coconut cream, I put in my all-in-one. And back then I didn't have an all-in-one. So that was another game changer when I added that to get all the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants back into my body. I mean, I was then like, that's when energy changed. That's when it changed. I was feeling good before that. This took it to a new level that I didn't know existed. And one of the reasons is that you're getting so much hydration in the morning. We like to think that we're hydrated, but the truth is that you probably haven't drank any water for 12 hours after an hour or so after being up. I mean, you really haven't. Unless you're drinking water before bed, which most people don't because you don't have to wake up and urinate. Well, you've gone at least 8 to 10 to 11 hours. Well, if you just drink coffee in the morning, or even if you just drink sugary juice, that's not what your body needs, right? Your body needs hydration. And so by getting that from a fruit smoothie is literally exactly what your body's looking for. Your body is partially tired in the morning or groggy because it's super dehydrated. And this smoothie is a game changer. So that's the first thing to do after your detox is just to add in a delicious smoothie. Purple Crush is one of them. And then my other one is a tropical smoothie, which I love and I do most afternoons. Okay, what is that? Mango. And I'll do sometimes papaya with that. I'll do sometimes pineapple with it. And then I'll do sometimes a half a frozen banana mixed in there as well with coconut cream, usually the all-in-one or hemp protein, something like that. And it is unbelievable. It's delicious. It's literally like a pina colada without the alcohol. It's so good. So those are things. And again, you should look forward to it. It should be absolutely delicious. And you could drink that over 60 to 90 minutes to keep your body fueled. Okay. So that's a big thing. And then if you can, now it doesn't have to be, but if you can, try at least 3 times a week to maybe keep with that vegan lunch going. All it is you can get a salad, you can get some cooked vegetables, you can go to like a Whole Foods or a Sprouts that has prepared foods there, and you can kind of just grab what you want at a salad bar and make your own, or bring it from home. And that's really inexpensive. So smoothie might cost you like $3, and lunch, if you bring it from home, might cost you like $3 or $4, super inexpensive. And then mid-afternoon, okay, so what do you have to do mid-afternoon? Well, have a handful of raw nuts, have another smoothie, do a green juice without fruit in it. Like there's a lot of great choices you can do. You can do cut up veggies and hummus. So that's easy, okay? That can keep you satiated. And again, afternoon snack can be optional. And then what about dinner? Well, now dinner is where you might have to navigate a little bit. So this is the time where you talk with your spouse, your significant other, and just say, hey, can we stick to these types of foods? And again, it could be close to the detox. So it doesn't have to be radically different. The reason why the detox works is because of the days 1 and 2, the shake, fast, and day, also the nutrients that you're giving your body with the IU detox, the FM detox, and the all-in-one shake. And then, yes, you're eating cleanly. You're not eating fried food, those types of things. But here's what I want you to think about. Every week, you can still do a cheat meal. So after you come off the detox, don't think that you can't have your favorite foods. Once a week, go out to dinner or make your favorite dinner, and then you can have dessert afterwards if you want. So once a week, what I do is, you know what? I used to, I'll be honest. Once a week, I used to really be into dessert, and I would just really just pig out and have whatever dessert I wanted. But the truth is, like, for whatever reason now, we all go through phases. Dessert isn't as interesting to me. I don't know why. Like, I've lost my real, and it's probably because I've gotten rid of the candida. I've gotten rid of the SIBO in my gut, so I don't have that same sugar craving. But what I crave is my bread and my pasta once a week. And so that's what I do. And I literally either go out to dinner with my wife or my family. We just do takeout, and we have that as a cheat meal. That's it. My kids have it. I have it. And I love it. And I'm unapologetic about it. And I have as much as I want. So I literally will have as much pasta as I like. It's my choice. And I'll have as much bread as I'd like. And that's my choice. I don't set a limit on it. And then after that, that's it. Like, that was it. I ate as much as I wanted to. I felt full. I was satisfied. And then that was it. And the next day, I'm like, oh, that was great. Maybe I'd like more. No. Well, I'm going to get to have that in another week. So that's how I look at it, is that I look forward to that cheat meal. And I'll tell you, cheat meals, whatever you want to call them. People don't like call them cheat meals. Well, that's what it is, because you're eating unhealthy processed food. I'm not going to pretend like pasta and bread are good for me. I'm just not. Like, those are processed foods. They are what they are. But it doesn't mean I can't have them in my diet. I'm a healthy human being. I worked really hard over the years to get myself healthy. And now that I am healthy, I'm going to, once a week, do whatever it is that I choose to. And sometimes that's twice a week if I decide to go out. But usually it's once a week, because that's what works for me. That's what works for my body. But it also gives me something to look forward to, because remember, when we look forward to things, we enjoy them more. If we get to have them all the time, they lose their panache, they lose their excitement. So again, it's something to look forward to. And then the other thing that I can recommend is how not to Re-Tox is begin to add something into your day that gets you set up and gets your mind set up right, which is why I'm such a believer in my morning routine. And you have to go back to previous Mindset and Motivation Mondays, previous Total Wellness Tuesdays, Weight Loss and Wellness Wednesdays, like all the things that I do and that I recommend in my private practice to keep your body like going right? To keep it set up to get started on the right foot. So that's why I talk about my morning routine, why it's so important. Because I'm telling you right now, if you make the smoothie in the morning and maybe you add one thing like your dry brushing, which takes all of 2 minutes or 3 minutes before you get in the shower. Again, you can just look up dry. You can go to StephenCabral.com/podcasts and just type in dry brush, and you'll see my episodes on that. So when you begin to do these things, now it's on your mind that you're making healthy choices, and it just becomes part of your routine. Well, okay, you did your dry brush. You did maybe the mouth cleansing, whatever you want to call it, protocol I talked about. And that was on episode 739. That was the daily mouth care routine in the morning and in the evening. So what I'm saying is when you start to do these things, it creates a snowball effect, which means that if you get your morning right, you're going to want to do more of that as the day progresses. I really believe that. You won't want to mess up your perfect morning by then just kind of, like I said, going out and eating pizza for lunch or a sandwich for lunch. You're going to be more apt to think about ahead of time, where are the healthy lunch spots? Or if everyone's getting pizza and a sandwich, can I get a salad? Can I get some cooked veggies and some protein, whatever it might be, right? If you do that, again, it's just, you're going to be on the mindset that I'm going to take the stairs, that I'm going to take the actions that are going to keep me healthier. So it's truly why I believe that it's all about the morning. It really is that you have to wake up a little earlier. You have to have that to-do list for the day. You have to have the day really planned out so that it's yours, that you took control of the day. Because if you take control of your day, it's going to go your way 90% of the time. Meaning, yeah, things are going to pop up during the day. But the truth is, if you listen to that episode 745, you're going to see that if you already create rhythms and routines, which is what it's all about, well, then when things pop up, that's okay, because you have the bandwidth. You're not already stressed out. You're not already overwhelmed. Be able to deal with those things. Meaning, like, oh, if you had to miss lunch that day, or if you had to go to another place, you know how to make the right choices. Or it's okay to sometimes be like, you know what, I'll eat when I get back to the office, or I'll grab a bite right before I go to the office. And you can always have a shake ready. You can have some nuts ready. You can have those things pre-planned ahead of time so that you don't slide too far backwards. And here's the thing. don't be too hard on yourself either. A lot of people, they cheat, they have a sandwich, they have pizza, they miss the gym, whatever it might be. And they're like, oh, I just ruined my detox. I ruined this, this, and this. You didn't. It was one meal. It was one missed gym. It was one whatever. It was one time. That's it. Just don't let the rest of the day slide and don't let the rest of the week slide. If you're listening to this on a Tuesday and you mess up on Tuesday or Wednesday, well, don't make the week a wash. You only get 52 of those. Don't make the whole week a setback. Get back on track that next day. I mean, really, that's what's important, is that I mess up all the time as well. But I just try to say, okay, tomorrow's a new day. I'm going to wake up and it's a new day. That's it. Whether I'm stressed out or something happens, I've just learned to flip the switch. That's it. Tomorrow's that next new day. I'm going to get back on track. Don't weigh yourself. Don't worry about that next day. Get it out of your system, okay? Get back on track. Then you can go back to weighing yourself. It's totally fine. We have to stop being so hard on ourselves and understand is that we get 4 more meals or at least 3 more meals the next day to do better. We can wake up. We can do our smoothie. I do the Dr. Cabral daily protocol every morning. I'll link it up in the show notes. It's simply how I start my day off right with my 22 organic fruits and vegetables blend, that greens powder that I use, my probiotic, and my smoothie. I need to get that right. If I get that right, perfect. And if I do my dry brushing, if I do my body weight routine in the morning, if I'm out the door on time, all of those things set me up for success. Then I have the energy for the rest of my day. All I want you to do is set yourself up for success. And even if you mess up, just get right back on track. And the other thing I'll add is just remember that if you're doing a seasonal-based detox, well, it's not going to be that long anyways before you just get back on track with your next detox. And again, it doesn't always have to be a 21-day. It can be a 7-day or 14-day or 10-day. You can make it whatever you want. If you want to do 5 days because you can't fit in a whole week, well, 5 days is a whole lot better than none, right? I mean, it's so much better than that. So what I'm trying to say is that it's your life. Do the best that you can, but always be taking steps forward. That's really what it's all about, is just take that next step forward in life. And hopefully I gave you some great ways too to just transition off of that detox, to be able to add in the smoothie, to be able to add in the morning routine, and then start making healthier lifestyle choices, especially earlier in the day, because they will keep the momentum going, meaning like take the stairs in the morning when you get to work. All right, park a little further away. Yes, all of those things really do matter just to put you in the right mindset. Try to do your dry brushing or your body weight routine that I talk about in the morning. Do some meditation in the morning. Just pick one, though. You don't have to do them all. Pick one, master it. After 2 or 3 weeks of doing that, add in the next one. Life truly is a journey. We are not meant to master this. I don't even think at any point in life we're meant to master our life. What we're meant to do is master a particular topic, move on to the next. Keep that last one. Keep the one that you just mastered, move on to the next. Master that one, move on to the next. Not only will you be light years ahead in life, but you'll honestly feel like you've reached your potential, right? And as you're reaching your potential, now you see something else that you can go for, something else that you can reach for, and then that's how you build on your life. These things are so important. I hope they start to really become a part of your life. And as always, if I can answer any additional questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Cabral Concept. I appreciate each and every one of your listens. Please do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could help. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.